Islam, greetings, and welcome to Talk to Me Moorish, or Talk to Me Moorish, aka My Brother's Keeper, aka Meet Me at Allah. I'm Sister Zahra Bey of CalifaMedia.com and the PurplePaperClip.com. And with me is Brother Abir Chanan L of 43rdbooks.com. That's 43rdbooks.com. And joining us also is Brother Sarush L. I don't know your affiliation, so we're gonna have to get those in next time or towards the end of the show if you want to plug something. Thanks. And this is our fourth weekly chat discussing Moorish Consortium or the lack thereof through the lens of Moorish science, including astrology, history, and Moorish literature. To those joining us and those who will enjoy this at a later date, again, welcome and gratitude for your interest and attention. All right. So this week, we going to try to actually get to the rules. This is like our third try. I think we're going to do it this time. I know I'm ready.
Yeah. I'm ready.
I was actually looking through the Red Book. And there's actually a chapter called, let me find it so I get it exactly right. 116. There is a chapter called Jesus Reveals the Marriage Law of Man and Wife from Allah. I mean, that's pretty exact right there. And that's chapter 11 in the Red Book. It's really short, so I'm just gonna read it real quick so we can have some groundwork to discuss. All right, chapter 11. Jesus reveals the marriage law of man and wife from Allah. 1. The law forbids adultery, but in the eyes of the law, adultery is an overt act, the satisfaction of the sensuous self outside the marriage bonds. 2. Now, marriage in the sight of law is but a promise made by man and woman, by the sanction of the priest, to live together until death. 3. No priest or officer has the power from Allah to bind two souls in wedded love. 4. What is a marriage tie? It is not what the priest may say or do. There is but one true marriage, and Allah alone can perform this marriage. 5. It is the love of Allah that finds its way into the two, man and woman's hearts. And that is all ever to be. Your priest cannot cause this to be. 6. It is the promise of the two that they will love each other until death. 7. Is love a passion that is subject to the will of man? 8. Can a man pick up his love as he would a gem and lay it down or give it out to anyone? 9. Can love be bought and sold like sheep? Oh boy, dang. 10. Love is the power of Allah that binds two souls and makes them one. There is no power on earth that can dissolve this bond. 11. The bodies may be forced apart by man or death for just a little time, but they will meet again. 12. Now, in this bond of Allah, we find the marriage tie. All other unions are but bonds of straw, and they who live in them commit adultery. 13. But more than this, the man or woman who indulges lustful thoughts commits adultery. 14. Whom Allah has joined together, no man man cannot part. Whom man has joined together lie in sin. Huh? Oh, whom man has joined together lie in sin. Oh, wow. Okay, 14 again. Whom Allah has joined together, man cannot part. Whom man has joined together lie in sin. 15. But lo, I say that he who in the heart desires to possess that which is not his own is a thief in the sight of Allah. The things which men see not with eyes of flesh are more worth than the thing that men can see. The things to which men cannot see with eyes of flesh are of more worth than the things that man can see. Okay. 16. A good name is worth 1,000 times a mind of gold. And he who He who says a word or does a deed that injures or defames that name is a thief. 17. Upon the table of the law we read, thou shalt not covet anything. Oh, wow. 18. To covet is an all-consuming wish to have anything that is not right for anyone to have. And such wish in the spirit of the law is theft. And those were that's chapter 11 of the Red Book, or it's called The Mysteries of the Silent Brotherhood of the East. And chapter's called Jesus Reveals the Marriage Law of Man and Wife from Allah. So yeah, I actually found that. Thoughts?
Yeah, plenty of them. Wow. Uh, toward the end, one of the last ones it said what Covington was, or being
Right.
covetous. Can you reread that one last time?
I
It,
sure
it's
can.
like it, please, if you don't
I'm
mind.
gonna start at 15 because that's where it kind of starts. But lo,
Okay.
I say that he who in the heart desires to possess that which is not his own is a thief in the sight of Allah. The things which men cannot see, or the things which men see not with eyes of flesh, are of more worth than the things that men can see. A good name is worth 1,000 times a mine of gold. And he who says a word or does a deed that injures or defames that name is a thief. Upon the table of the law we read, thou shalt not covet anything.
That's
To
it.
covet is an all-consuming wish to have anything that is not right for anyone to have. And such
That
wish,
right there.
okay, and such wish in the spirit of the law is theft. What about that one? Yeah, that's an interesting it's like, dang, don't covet anything. I'm like, well, okay, it doesn't say don't want anything. It says don't covet anything.
Covet anything that nothing that no one should have. Like out of the realm of any individual seizing it. If I'm hearing it correctly, like what would be an example? Could y'all think of like an example or something like that, maybe?
Well, since we speaking on marriage laws, I'm guessing covering somebody's spouse. Nobody's
Yeah.
supposed to have somebody else's spouse. Don't covet nothing. Let's just make it clear. You like, no, don't covet anything, so we don't have no oopsies. So yeah. I mean, I'm putting it in context. It's like, well, we're talking about marriage
Mm.
laws, so I'm guessing that's what they talking about. They'll be coveting other people's people.
Mm.
And then what is
It
that?
said
Talking
that
about a
no
good
man should have them, right? That you
um
should. Am I hearing it incorrectly? Please help me. Y'all help me on that.
I'll read
Quote
it
on that.
again. It says to covet is an all-consuming wish to have anything that is not right for anyone to have. That don't mean
Yeah.
no one can have it. That's like
Smart.
if you coveting it because it's not right for somebody to have it, right? Like an illicit affair. Again, I'm putting it in context of what the chapter,
What
you
is the
know.
chapter about? Okay.
Yeah.
You see,
Because if it's
you
just
see what I'm
like
saying?
just
Sarush, does that
sitting
make
out
sense?
there, it's like,
Right,
dang, don't covet nothing.
right. Mm.
So yeah.
And I'm not being an advocate for coveting. I'm just saying that's a strong verse. That's a strong.
Yeah, it's not leaving any wiggle room, huh?
Nah,
Like
I'm
it
saying
said,
no,
don't
not at
it don't
all,
mean
not at
don't
all.
covet their company, don't covet them leaving so you can slide next to somebody. It said don't covet anything. Like, okay. So it's an all-consuming wish to have anything that is not right for anyone to have. So
That
if it's
right
right
there.
for you to have, it's not a
Right.
problem. Yeah.
What's for you shall not pass. Like,
Right. Right.
Mm, mm,
Boy, is that
mm,
not strict? I like it.
mm, mm.
I like the idea of boundaries. Boundaries keep people safe. So
They
and
should.
avoid a whole bunch of drama.
Yes.
Because I was about to say I should look up covet, but I'm like, nah, because they're giving the definition right here. Like in the Bible, you don't use a
Right.
regular dictionary to define words in the Bible. You got to use a concordance or something. Or if it's like, if it says God said that this is what it meant, okay. What more do I need to, check up on? So
That's the
yeah,
main. That's the main quote unquote chapter. That's the main chapter right there. Like
the whole red book
it's
is like
not
this.
to use like you shouldn't even mess with nothing that you know. One of the things it said it was like if Allah didn't put it together,
Right. That's it. Yep.
it's
That was
not
one of the
worth
verses.
nothing. It's not nothing if he didn't put it together. I don't
Right.
care what the man down there at the you know what I'm saying at the building said to you or the priest or whatever. I'm telling you, if God didn't put it together, it's not worth it. And that seems like it should be something that is shouted from the rooftop. Because first of all, you got to have a connection with God first to even
Right.
think about things. And then you have to know that He put that together, which means you got to have some type of science behind it too. It's got to be some stuff that's laid out in front of you that says this will work or this won't work or something. Because just saying I want him and I want to get married. It also says, please forgive me, I'm going to be quiet. It also seems like it said, even if you do get married and Allah didn't bless it, it's still not worth nothing.
Right. That's what you get
That
for
type of
forcing
thing.
stuff. Isn't that how it turned out?
Right,
Right.
right,
That's what you get. And can
right.
you imagine the level of discipline you have to be like,
Very hard.
this ain't for you. And you have to be kind of like open
Mm,
to even be able to pick
mm,
up on something like that. You know what I mean?
right,
I'm like,
indeed.
I'll be reading this stuff and I'm just like, nah, this was not speaking to everyone because not everybody is built for this stuff. It's like Ramadan.
Right,
People like the
Right.
thought of doing it, but not everybody can get through all those, that full 30 days,
right,
you know.
right, right. Mm,
Not for the weak.
yeah, that's tough. I mean, I'm married, you know what I'm saying? And I told myself after the first time I was never doing it again. Like, absolutely not. Like, I'm just not ever, never, ever, never. You know what I'm saying?
How
Ever,
how
ever,
long were you
ever.
married before, if you don't mind me asking?
13 years legally.
Oh, whoa, 13 years?
Legally, yeah.
That's
In the
wild.
same
I'm
household
thinking it's
about,
like one of those young things you did. Oh, wow.
nah, 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 nah. And in the same household, maybe like 9. Happy, maybe 3.5.
Oh, wow.
Maybe, yeah. And I sacrificed my 30s for it. That was crazy. Should I should have sacrificed my 30s for it. I should have, you know. But all things in time. It wasn't on my time. I had to be where I was supposed to be in time. So I can't, I'm just saying, I sat there too long. Um, but yeah,
Yeah, that's
that's
what happened
rough.
to my father. He said that a lot of men stay married because they don't know how to get out of it.
Yeah. And I also say that, see, not saying it like that. I think for brothers, many times we don't understand the weight and the validity of it. We just trying to wrap our heads around. I'm about to be married, and I got to go in the house with her every night. This is it. This is it. This is it. As opposed to sometimes some women recognize and know that if I could just get him to get here and sign this paperwork, it's hard to get out of. There's nothing you can just go back there and just sign it and walk away from. It's usually not that easy. So we walk in that kind of like gingerly, as opposed to, I think sometimes our counterparts know, like, yeah, once I get you trapped,
This
yeah, it's
is
hard.
horrible. I'm just listening to you. It's like it just sounds like everybody trying to get each other.
I'm
That's what it
please
sounds
forgive
like.
me.
Like, really? This how y'all want to start this? You know? When you could, again, you can find somebody to get down with you like that. But that's a verse in the Sisters Auxiliary book. Um it's real short. What do they say? I'll read this one a
I'm
lot.
not trying to be gloomy at all. But honestly, I'm not. I'm just trying to be
No,
100.
because I hear that one a lot too. How women say, how guys say that women change after marriage, right?
Mm.
And then I'm on the other side, right? I'm listening from the other side, and women actually say that what you just said. If I could just get them down the aisle,
Yep.
that kind of thing. I'm just like, ugh. You trying to
Yep.
that you do you really want it like that? Because I
And you
believe the
can
way you
feel it.
get it, that's how you keep it.
Yeah. And you feel it. You feel it. Once you start saying, wait a minute, what happened? Yeah, it's on now. It's on now. Yeah, it's
No.
on.
All right,
You
this one
know.
says, what it say? If you want to marry and can't find a husband of your choice, keep chaste until Allah gives you one. Allah knows what you keep secret and what you manifest. Keep up prayer and give charity.
Mm.
That's page 5 from the Sisters Auxiliary book, number 14.
That's
Yeah,
a
I read this
wonderful.
book
That's
a
a
lot.
wonderful.
It's very comforting, keeps me in the house. Now I don't have too many problems. Not too many. Yep. Book is very
Oh.
useful. Like number 12, you should not marry non-Muslims. A righteous Muslim cannot love one who says they love you but does not love Allah and your religion, Islamism.
Mm.
Yeah, that reminds me of who Dick Gregory used to say that about activists in the 60s, calling them out, talking about how you gonna fight black and sleep white.
Yeah.
Like, well, I don't. Hey, he didn't ask me. You know, Looking
It's
at you, Harry
yours.
Belafonte.
Right. Right.
No,
Right.
that's
You know
who
what I'm
he.
saying?
That's who he was actually talking to when he said it.
Yeah.
It was really
Yeah.
funny. So
Um.
yeah.
It depends on,
Yep.
you know what I'm saying, on your strength. You know, it
Because who
depends
else
on
can
your strength.
understand what you're going through for real?
Right, yeah, yeah. You know, everybody can't get it. Everybody can't get it. They don't. But I love you enough to trust that what you're doing, I'll follow you.
Right.
I'll follow you because I trust you. But I don't get the whole. I don't get it all, and that's okay. That's okay because we all get things in stages. You know what I'm saying? But when you get
Mm-hmm.
somebody that is disagreeable, you know that little meme, that little clip of Forrest Gump running around that corner real fast. Yeah, when you find somebody disagreeable, just take that fast, like for real. It's not gonna get no better. Yeah.
Yeah, folks
But
out
I'm
here
not
like,
the expert. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
feeling kind of dismal. I mean, I was listening to you like, oh man, I mean, I feel fortunate because guys treat me like one of the guys. So they say stuff around me so they can't lie to me later type of thing, right?
Right.
And it's just it's just like this whole thing is just like unreal what's going on with our people. Like everybody's
Yeah.
scared of each other almost. And I'm just like, what's going on? Like, what have we actually been going through where we don't trust each other, or is it just that we just don't have a process and it's one of those things where let me just see what he gonna do because I know what I do when I'm in this situation, but even though we're the same people, we don't have the same program,
Yeah.
which is yeah,
That's it. I think what you just the last thing you said. same people, not the same program.
Yeah, which is why we here, for real. I think things will go a lot faster, if we can actually agree that these are the protocols, right? Like how who is that? I love how the Hindus got their stuff set up. Like marriage is like a religion for them. They got their stuff so like the the rules are so detailed that when a guy approaches a girl, he can like tell where she's from. They're both Hindus, right? But he's like, oh no, she's Punjabi and I'm looking for a Bengali, that kind of thing. Just because of how he approached her and how she responded, they know, oh, you're Bengali and I'm Punjabi. It's like that. That's how we're supposed to be operating. And it's like, yeah, if you actually look at nature, even animals got, a process. There's a reason why there's brown bears and black bears and not a mixture. Because how brown bears attract, guy brown bears attract lady brown bears don't work on black bears. You know what I mean? Like, dang, even y'all got rules. Even though they can breed together, they just don't. Because their rules don't match. I don't know. I've been on this whole rules thing lately. It must be something with. Oh, I know what it is. I know exactly what it is. Let's go to the astrology. It's Saturn is in Aquarius and it just went direct. Because I've just been like obsessed with rules lately. So, and what's Aquarius rules Saturn is one of the rulers, but it's the fun side of Saturn, where the Capricorn Saturn is the one where you set the rules, right? And they can be imposing and they unrelenting and arbitrary. Not non-arbitrary, which can be an issue, right? Aquarius is the next sign where it's like, okay, let's look at these rules we came up with. Which ones are we going to which ones we're going to fortify and which ones are we going to get rid of because this ain't working? Which is why Aquarius is seen as like the rebel, right? They're not trying to necessarily break the rules. They just want to improve on the rules, right? And that's where we are right now. So, yeah. And we're right there. This is like perfect. We're right there. And now the sun, Mercury, and Mars are in Libra. So, and those two are trining each other. So this should be really easy, right? Let's discuss with fervor the rules of engagement and see like how we can modernize them. Like, because some of these things are kind of weird, Some of the rules, like it's some of them, it's like you could tell they're from the 20s, So don't eat fresh baked bread. Like, well, I ain't got that problem,
Right.
My bread is a day old by the time I get it because I get it from the store.
Is it taboo to have rules for a relationship? Isn't that taboo? Isn't that like the one place usually outside of this? Because isn't that the one place like I don't really want no rules when it comes to that?
Well, I'm not saying within the marriage.
No. I'm saying just dating. I'm saying just as a relationship.
Oh, we don't date. That's the thing. That's it. That's actually in this book. We don't date. Because our people are like they too loving. I'll put it like that. So the way our thing is set up, you're supposed to be doing this, and I could actually see how it would have worked just because of how I grew up in the masjid. How
okay.
My father was, from what I understand, he was a wali, which is why I called this my brother's keeper. It's like a wali. That's the guy who's going out finding wives for all the brothers so they won't be out here living in sin. Quoting my father, that's what he said. He basically created all my playmates when I was growing up. He was like going around all the masjid. You can't be out here like this. You can't have this woman out here. Blah blah blah. I know y'all trying to see each other. I've been seeing y'all talking in the corners. You need to just go and marry this woman. Or yeah, he was pushy, right? And yeah, I grew up with a lot of the children that came from the marriages he put together, right? So, and then as we were coming up watching the older children, right, it was like they just kind of fell into marriages, because it was one of those things where, and I do this with my children, where a parent has been watching this child come up the whole time, right? The only way this works is if you don't move. You gotta, or if you do move, you gotta stay within that same congregation, right? But you've been watching this child come up. You've been inviting them over to your house, you know, for just little things. Y'all been going to the id together every year, right? Because you think like, wow, I like his family, you know. So let me just watch for, and I mean, what, 10 years, something like that. And then next thing you know, y'all have what did we used to do? Trying to think what we used to do. We used to have dinners, right? And everybody would just get together at these dinners, but you would always have the older women in the back whispering and making it where the this couple could talk but not alone, right? Like, yeah, y'all can come sit on the couch and you're gonna be sitting between us type of thing, you know. And that's how they would get to know each other. And it like, you hear the next week that they get married, and it wouldn't be a big surprise if they've known each other for 10 years, that type of thing. But again, and then that's one of our rules too. Moors should live close together, because how else are we going to do this? You know, that's my dream. I'm working on that right now. Actually, not to give away too much, trying to get some land and be like, look, if you can get here, you know, like buy a town. Because apparently towns in the United States are cheap, fully functioning cities. You know what I mean? Just buy this
Facts.
mug. Like, look, if you could get here for real, just get here. We'll figure something out. You know, it's a fully functioning town, and I'll carry everybody until we get this mug running. You know, I'll just so I can have my child grow up around, just so she can go outside and I don't have to watch her. You know, that kind of thing.
Facts.
Just because I know, in order for you to even be here, you had to know, you had to be on some certain vibration to even find out about this type of thing, you know. And then it even appeals to you. You got to be on another vibration, you know. Didn't M. Night Shyamalan make a movie like that where oh, I'm trying to remember that movie. It was where a bunch of rich folks moved into the woods because they just got tired of how corrupt and
Yeah,
messed up the world was.
yeah,
That's what I'm trying to
absolutely.
do. I'm not trying to do it to that extent, but yeah, along those lines. Because I was watching that, like, I get it, I understand. Because I mean, my only playmate growing up was my sister, and the other Muslims we would see, because we lived out in the middle of nowhere, always in the middle of nowhere, that we would see when we went to masjid. Those were the only children we played with. And I mean, I think it worked out great for me. It was rough when I went out into the world, because I'm just looking at these people acting crazy, and I can't understand it, because you know everybody around me is calm and disciplined. I mean, I grew up in Chicago in the '80s. You can imagine what I must have seen. You know, oh my god, Jerry
Of
curls and
course.
pleather jackets, everybody spinning in the street. Like, oh my god, yeah, it was crazy. Oh, it looked crazy. So, yep, yep.
So I think that relationship rules, or the rules of engagement, as you start to see them, are even more binding than we may have thought. In a society where people don't want any of that right now, where is the reconciliation? How do you get people interested in it?
You don't. You just make it available for them, and if they want it, they'll come get it.
Hmm.
I mean, I think the time for missionary work is over. You know,
Hmm.
um, I don't like the idea of imposing myself on people, but I'll start dancing if you want to join my party. Hey, join in. You know,
Right.
but I would rather focus on my party than trying to convince you to come join my party. Because I mean, I'm guessing there's other people. I want to do it, and I'm guessing I'm not that unique. There must be other people out there that want to do it too. You know what I mean?
Right.
So just start your dance and see who joins. Because I mean, look at the Moorish thing, right? How because I came into this in 2008, which is a shame. How did I grow up Muslim in Chicago and I didn't find out about the Moors until 2008 in Georgia? But that's neither. Yeah, isn't that a shame? But I'll have to
That's
admit it.
interesting. No, I'm saying like that. That's interesting. That's cool.
Yeah, it's messed up. But oh, what was I saying? I forgot. I lost my train of thought. Sorry. Oh boy, what was I saying? We were talking about why having rules is important.
Right.
I mean,
You
I
were saying
just
like,
think it's one of those things like we have rules for everything else. I mean, you got rules on how to bake a cake. You don't just slap it together and hope for the best. You know, this is kind of important, really important. And if you do it wrong, oh wow, a lifetime of pain for not just the people who started it, but the people that they produce and bring into the situation. You know. Yep.
I'm just gonna listen. I'm gonna listen. I'm not doing it.
You gonna do what?
I'm just gonna listen because, like I said, my mind is turning, and sometimes you can feel like you're doing the right thing to the T, and still not turn out.
That's what I was about to say.
That comes down to expectations. The expectations will always get us hurt, I think.
So you do it for the love. You don't do it for the likes. Right?
Right.
If I was doing this to attract people, like, oh, I'm like, how do I want to put it? Because this is one of those things like, no, you need to be trying to get people to join in on this. But it's one of those things. I'm just doing it because I feel it needs to be done, and I'm not trying to wait around for other people to do it. That's what I lost my train of thought. I came into more knowledge about the Moors in 2008, right? And I took off with it, and I basically shed my entire, what was I, like 33, when I just like everything from birth to 33 is gone, and then I started on this journey. I mean, literally, it's gone. I lost everything, and built it all back. And I could have done it faster if I had stopped dealing with Moorish science and just went back to being like, a black person. But I was just like, nah, because ain't nobody interested. Black folks don't read. Ain't nobody gonna buy your books. You might as well just get a real job. You're trying to start a book company, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing it for that. I'm doing it because it makes me happy. I'm doing it for the love of doing it. Fast forward 13 years, I don't have to ask people to be interested in Moorish science. You know what I mean? It was one of those things you can just see. Oh no, it's like the guy who started building garages during the horse and buggy days, right? He started, instead of building stables, he started building garages. People called him a fool, right? But that's actually what happened. I learned that in Georgia. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna add this to it too, right? Because it's just unreal how many people are single and not by choice. All right. And then the popularity of porn sites and sex toys. So, okay, let's talk. You know what I mean? Because obviously there are needs and they are not being met. So let's talk. Y'all might be shy, and I know I know it's gonna take a while to catch on, right? I don't know if I brought this up on any other chats, but the concept of Kaizen, right? Japanese concept, where it's constant improvement, right? And the recognition that it's going to take time for stuff to grow, And how patient are Asians? Have you ever watched a Kung Fu movie? Oh, I ran away from my family slaughter. Can you train me to get vengeance? Yep. Sweep this floor for 7 years and then we'll talk. And they do it. Right? It takes a minute.
Indeed.
You know what I mean? So I'm patient. You know, like I said, Saturn's my favorite planet. You know, I mean, I'm doing plenty else, but this is fun. This is a relief. You know, I mean, being a Moor is like heavy. It gets kind of daunting. You know, all this law and civics and religion. Can we talk about something else? Let's talk about some Venusian stuff. You know, for real.
Yeah. Yes, I agree. When you say it like that, yeah.
Oh
I
yeah.
totally agree.
And I'm having fun, you know. Are you having fun? I hope so.
Absolutely.
Good. Good.
Absolutely.
And if folks want to join in, welcome. But I'm sorry, don't think it's about you. I got my North Node in the first house, so I'm destined to be a little bit selfish. But it's in Libra. So my selfishness always benefits others, right? No, I'm not doing it for you, but I hope you're enjoying it, you know.
That's the problem. Hey, those are bars right there. You can like, I don't know if you listen to battle rap, but did you call a bar like
A bar
like
while smoking the pot.
bar? Like literally, like yeah, like some of the stuff you say just in passing is just like, yo, just come up with that off the clip, just fast.
Yep.
You know, it's not
I
about
like
you,
to
but hey,
read. I read
you
a
know, enjoy
lot.
yourself.
And I put out books. I mean, man, Moors put words in my head, so I got away with them. Moors are putting words in my head. All right. So yeah. So if I got away with words, you know, you one of them. So thank you. For real.
um,
Oh,
if
buy
I
his
may,
book.
let me do this. If you don't mind, let me do this. So, and you can say, Abir, shut up. You know, get out of my house or whatever.
Wait. Before you do that, one thing, Sarush.
Yeah,
Peace.
Thank you for hanging out. This is
for
so
Thank
real.
you for
weird.
having me.
This is so weird. Um, you said that you're a Cancer rising, right?
I'm a
Yeah,
Cancer rising.
And your mom is a
yeah.
Libra rising.
Yeah.
Wait, I was just thinking about that, and it was so weird because it's like, wow. So uh, you're kind of sitting here with your mom, and I'm kind of sitting here with my son because my son is a Cancer rising,
Mm.
Libra rising. I just thought that was weird, and I was gonna point it out, and that it's really cool because even though you're quiet, you're so there, and it reminds me so much of my son. So yeah. So yeah, I just wanted to get that out there real quick. But you were
I
saying
feel,
something
and I
about
just
getting you out
feel
my
that. And
house.
this is like what you said. I feel that too. So I was like, I'm waiting on him to, you know what I'm saying? But I
No, he's there
understand.
though, right? You feel it? He's
I get
there.
it. I know that for sure. I feel it. I feel it like we in tune for sure. Like you put the two fingers up with the eyes. Like I'm with you. Like I know we with each other. You know what I'm saying?
Right?
But I understand. I
Yeah,
know
it's kind of cool how people can just like enjoy each other off real. It's kind of dope.
absolutely,
I'm stuck
absolutely.
off of the M Night Shyamalan thing. I was trying to figure out what that movie was called because that was one of my favorite movies
Oh, you
for
know the one I'm talking about though, right? Where
Oh
the girl was blind.
um, The
Yeah,
Village.
The Village. I think
the
that was it.
village,
Yup, yup,
Um,
yup.
the village. That was
That's what's up.
crazy.
Yeah,
that
that's
was a
what I'm
hard
trying to
movie.
do. Yup, take it back primitive, all that good stuff. Doing everything by hand, for real.
Um, let me go. Let me ask this question. Let me go ahead. You know what I'm saying? I may get cursed out. I may not. You know. You know these charts very well. Sisters, you know, like you know this. I know you have sat down many times and now, what type of man will be perfect? What will be my like perfect match?
Who me?
Yeah.
Um, well, I already know it would have to be a Leo, just because of how little fixed energy it would have to be, right? I would prefer, but it wouldn't have. When I say that, that would be like somebody asking me, if I asked somebody the same thing and they said, "Oh, I want a Scorpio," I kind of fit that just because of how my stuff is positioned. right?
Right. Okay.
So I'm gonna say a Leo just because of those characteristics, but it doesn't necessarily have to be a Leo. It could be somebody with their house in the their sun in the 5th house.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So, and that's just because
you taught me
because of the
something like
moon
that
part.
too.
It's because of the moon thing, right? And I'm learning
Okay.
the moon is like not negotiable. It really isn't. I'm going through that lesson right now. All right. So
talk to me because my moon.
It's like a moon sun combination. It's exactly what it sounds like. So new moon. You know, can you imagine what y'all can do? Just think of the influence of a new moon. That's when you're planting stuff, right? Like that you want everybody to see. Full moon, you plant stuff that you want to like be there for a while because it's gonna be underground type of thing. But yeah, so my moon is in Leo. So I would prefer to be with a guy whose sun is in Leo, just because I don't have to explain why I am the way I am, because you're the same way. We just understand each other, even if nobody else understands what's going on, and they might not even like it, right? Who cares? Because it's about us. But yeah, what like I would say a Leo sun and any other than that, I can't really think of nothing. It's like that's about it, you know. Somebody with Leonine characteristics, because I need to get some stuff done, and I need somebody who's just like who likes to show off, you know. Not that I want them to show off. It's just like, hey, can you help show me how to show off, you know?
The Leos really. Yeah, I'm start. Of course we do.
No, go ahead. This is fun. Go ahead. I was actually thinking we should like start another one where we just come in here and like start examining people's, like pick a planet or pick a house for that week's chat and start examining it with people. I bet that'll get folks to come in. You know, let's talk about Venus.
You don't have no
Where's yours?
Yeah, but you never have no. Yeah, if you say we do it, that's what we do. I'm with it. Like I said,
hey, we can make it part of this, whatever. Like, you know,
I need somebody that is a Leo or somebody with their sun in the 5th house. You taught me something. Or like
Leonine qualities. You know, that's like Leo could present a different. Like, okay, it could even be where in like Vedic astrology, right? Or it's Vedic astrology / a progressed chart in the West, right?
Okay.
So like somebody that was born a Cancer, who's now in their 40s, their progressed sun is now in Leo. And by progressed, I mean like, okay, a progressed chart is basically your whole, everything in your chart shifts 1 degree for every year of your life.
Gotcha.
Oh, I'm sorry, not 1 degree, 1 day. 1 day. I'm sorry, 1 day for every year of your life, right?
So after 30 days, you creeping into something
exactly. So your moon will have moved, your sun will have moved. The other planets might not have, your Mercury probably moved, but the other stuff might still be there. So you might have grown, and that reminded me of what you said last week, Sarush, about how you grew up feeling like one sign, or people thought you were one thing, but you felt like something else, right?
Thanks.
But people can probably see it better now because you've probably grown into it, whichever one of those positions it is. You know what I mean? Because your chart, you progressed. Get it? So yeah. So that's what I mean by Leonine. It doesn't necessarily have to be a Leo. Because in your D9 chart, your marriage chart in Vedic astrology, you might be a Leo. Right? So yeah.
What I met, and once again, please just use my personal references. I just speak like that. But you know, when I met my wife, I told her that. I said, I need you to teach me how to have fun. Like Gemini knows how to have fun. And he just knows, like, yeah. You know, and now that I saw, you know what I'm saying, you know, that I have a Capricorn in my 5th house, I was always too old to really like I was always too old pretty much everything to go have fun with the rest of the kids seeing me. And I kind of felt that when I read it. I was like, yeah, that's why I was always telling I know that. But we can't skip school. No, we're not. No, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. I get it now. You know,
So
but
yeah. But your chart is moved, so now your fifth house is in Sagittarius, right? So you're supposed to be meeting a bunch of what, weird people from far away, foreigners basically, studying what,
word.
studying
What's
different
far away?
philosophies, whatever Sagittarius is
Okay,
associated
come
with,
on. Okay,
fun
okay,
with
okay.
Sagittarian things,
Yeah, yeah.
And look at this, we all, where are we? So yeah.
I didn't even know what this app was for real. Like I was saying earlier, I've been messing around with it like during the day. Like I got my mom on here, my wife on here. Like I was it's just to go in and like listen to other people's rooms and whatnot. You'd be amazed, like some of the stuff people talk about. Just openly, just
Yeah.
just flowing with it. So I'm just overjoyed to be here. Like seriously, like
And it's on
it
time
feels
too,
good.
because
Yeah, yeah,
what is that?
yeah,
North
right.
Node is about to intensify and then die, because the North Node is in Gemini right now. So it's all
You
this
you
like
caught you caught me.
frivolous, useful information. TikTok being
Yeah,
the perfect example of the North
yeah,
Node in Gemini. And that mug came out right when North Node went into Gemini. And I'm like, yep, it's temporary. It's going to go, remember Vine? This going to be the next Vine. Just like Gemini, fleeting, you know. And
this
we
is
almost done with
TikTok.
it. It's about to move into
And
Taurus.
you
So people
cannot.
going to be like, nah, we need something a little
Yeah,
more
yeah.
solid,
So tell
stable,
yeah, TikTok is
guaranteed.
way out
Which is
there,
why
man.
I be laughing at this cryptocurrency. I'm like, are y'all sure you want to do this?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Uranus is in Taurus. It means we're gonna have electric value. No, it doesn't. Okay, that's one way you can look at it. It also means surprise, we're going back to the days of nature, which is what
Yo,
Taurus rules. That's what I'm leaning
Taurus,
towards.
Taurus
I
North
cannot
Node.
believe people are falling for this crypto stuff.
I
Like,
don't get it.
paper money wasn't fake enough for y'all. Really?
They want that air money.
This is nothing. This is for real nothing. It's nothing. And I'm just
Mm-mm-mm.
like, this is like straight up gaslighting, and I'm not going for it. Oh, it's something. Look, they buy matches. Yeah, because they're smart and they're taking advantage of the situation, which is great. I wish I had done it. I remember when it came out. Oh my god, I remember when Google came out. That's one thing I will never stop kicking myself for. Got offered to get in on Google when it first came out. I'm like, no, I'm straight.
Yeah,
Oh my god. I'm
you know what I'm
sorry for that.
saying? But
All I got was a T-shirt. Yeah, I'm sorry for that one, but never again. And but I'm just looking at this crypto stuff, like, and looking at the astrology. I'm like, this about to be a straight up wealth transfer that folks can't see coming, but that everybody's gonna be shocked when it happens. And I'm like, how can you
talk talk
possibly be shocked
talk
at
about
this?
it.
Because
Talk
okay,
about it some more.
Taurus is slow, right? You can,
Mm-hmm.
if as long as it's
Absolutely.
not angered, it moves pretty slow, right? So you can
Mm-hmm.
see it. You can see whatever's this bull is pulling. You can see it coming, right? You can actually see it coming.
Yeah.
Uranus rules surprises, usually unpleasant surprises, right?
Right.
so okay, what does Taurus rule? Okay, Taurus is the
What you
mundane.
have, that's
Taurus
right.
likes the earthly beauty, flowers,
Yeah.
gems.
Perfect.
I don't know,
Yeah.
uh, pastoral scenes. Libra is
Mm-hmm.
like the man-made beauty, art,
Yeah.
sculpture, music, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So you're dealing with natural resources, and you think the Taurus wants you to digitize Taurus. The one that doesn't like change.
Yeah.
Wants you to
Nah.
digitize
Nah.
resources. Are you
Nah.
insane? Or maybe this is like Taurus is setting up for a surprise party and everybody can see it.
Everybody
But
can see
you
it.
know what I mean? And you really gonna be like, oh, you throwing a party when it actually happens? You know what I
Yo,
mean?
so
It's
accurate.
such a setup. But if you looking at what's going on, the powers that are setting it up are actually helping you get out of it, right? So if you got one of those stimulus checks, what did you do with it? I know what I got one. Actually, I didn't get one. Somebody shared one with me. Now I know what I did with it. I didn't go buy no crypto. I can guarantee that.
Huh? Huh?
No,
Like
no
let me
cryptos.
get
Yeah,
something that
anybody?
makes me feel secure.
Right.
Crypto ain't
Right.
it. People losing your all you gotta do to lose your fortune is lose your password. Okay.
Mm,
Yeah.
I'm
mm-hmm.
good.
Lose your keys.
Right?
And
I
look,
just can't believe people are going for it's digital money. I'm just like, they can just turn that off, right?
It don't even make sense.
I don't okay, thank you. I thought it was just me.
It
For
don't even
real.
make
well,
sense.
the black intelligentsia seems to think that you need to be in order right now. You know what I'm saying?
That
So,
right there tell you ain't no good. How you can tell something is on its way out, black folks get a hold of it. See the bankruptcy laws. What happened when black folks figured out how to do bankruptcy? They changed the laws, right?
they
That's when I knew crypto was on its way out because black folks started investing in it. Like, nope, it's over, right? It's over.
yeah,
Because they
back
only
in
let us in. They only let us in when they're
come
done
on,
with it, which is how
right,
Obama became president. They're done. Yeah, y'all can have this for real. Look at everything they let
Nah,
us
that's
into.
facts.
Finally, either they
That's
couldn't get
facts.
it to work or they were done. Like
Yeah.
basketball, they couldn't get it to work. So,
Yeah.
black folk, we were flipping houses and getting bread. I'm saying serious money, and they shut that down almost immediately.
yeah,
Especially the
yeah.
Maryland area. Maryland, back them days, they was yeah. I'm talking about crazy money. Everybody from Baltimore all the way to DC, I'm talking about money. All of a sudden, everything went belly up. Wait, huh? So as soon as you try to figure out how to, outside of selling dope, y'all can say y'all got to sell out your own community. You're not gonna get no easy way to make no checks out here. It's not it. They ain't doing that for you ever.
But they got them. Look
Yeah.
at that. What was that? GameStop. This time,
Yeah, right.
it's like, wait, it ain't about black folks no more. I think they're done with us. They're going after the poor people now.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
And I was watching the whole thing, like, wow, this is exactly what happened to black folks when they figured out bankruptcy. They changed the rules and shut it down. Just because y'all figured out how to cheat just the way they were cheating, right? Got mad, but I'm just sitting here just watching, like, well, you should have stopped it with us because it always just starts with us. If y'all let it keep going, it's eventually gonna reach you. So, and then when it finally reaches you, we will have gone through it or just be numb to it. So, like the whole what is that opioid epidemic?
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, I think that stuff is hilarious for real.
You know, to me, I feel like I think the Most High has just given us like so much patience. You know what I'm saying? To sit and wait and watch it turn over. You can see it coming slowly but surely. But it's just like, man, how much longer? You have to sit and look at this show right
You
here.
might want
Like
to watch the news. It's not slow. I was sitting watching like I go and just drive just to clear my head sometimes and
all the
living in
time.
corn country. Living in corn country is quite infuriating because it wasn't back in the day, but now that I know what I'm looking at, oh yeah, I get hot, right? And I was just like, I've been down south, and I went with a brother once to deliver what were those yellow pages, and
Mm-hmm.
we were in South Carolina, and where we had to go to get to some of these people's houses, it was like
Yeah.
take this road, go behind, turn here.
Okay.
It's at the back of,
Okay.
like they were dug in. I remember
Mm-hmm.
saying they dug in like chiggers, right? And I'm
Yeah.
just sitting there, and I'm in the knowledge of being a Moor, I'm just like, oh my, how are we going to get them out of here? First of all, hold on, it's bad enough that there's so many of them.
Mm-hmm.
Second, they're crazy and they're armed.
Yeah.
And third, they dug in like this.
Yeah.
How are we possibly how is it just how? And then the opioid epidemic hit. I'm just like, what? And I'm sorry. No, I'm not sorry. I actually watch opioid documentaries to cheer myself up. Because I'm watching these people who, when I was growing up, just watching them get handed everything. And now I know they were getting handed my stuff, right? And I'm watching their children injecting themselves with poison. I'm watching their children sell each other fake drugs. Like they come out, these mugs are taking Ajax, Ajax cleanser, and mixing it with Nestle Quick to make it brown and selling it to each other. So I'm like, wait a minute. So they're killing themselves and they're killing each other because they're selling this crap to get the money to go buy the real thing. I'm like, what? And then they're not having children, the children are born jacked up because they're on all this stuff, or they're messed up because they're in foster care, and that's gonna mess them up. I'm just like, okay, what are they on? What is this they're on? Heroin. Okay, I heard about that. Opioids. That's heroin, right? Yeah. Fentanyl, that stuff. Oh, okay. Oh, heroin, fentanyl, crack. They still make crack. I'm just like, and the thing is, the guy they were interviewing was on heroin, fentanyl, and crack. And this dude is talking about how his grandma is trying to get him to come home. Somehow he could just have the mansion on the lake and to recover. Like, what? This is what I'm talking about. So what? I'm just looking like, so you actually for real? We're at the end. You're at your pinnacle, right? I'm looking at the ones that's like my age. You're at your pinnacle. Look at your children. They're junkies, and you're giving them all this help. And then that's not even going in your favor because now it turns out that's a big old scam. How these mugs are setting these junkies up. Because I was like, how can you go and be in rehab 3 and 4 different times? Because the rehabs are setting them up to come back so they can keep getting their insurance money till it runs out. I'm like, are you serious? So you all are getting yourselves strung out, selling it to each other, and then exploiting your sickness. You all are doing all of this to yourself. And they want the whole world to feel bad for them. Like, okay.
I don't know about that.
I ain't getting no sympathy from this side. I can guarantee you that.
Many years ago, there was a rapper, he's still around, named KRS-One, who made a song called All Year. And one of the lyrics was, stay alive, all things will change around. And that's the truth.
Yep.
That's the honest to God truth, like, because, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if you saw that little documentary on crack on Netflix. Some of the stuff they told us about crack was just outright lies. Just outright lies. Like,
it was too obvious. I mean, growing up in Chicago, I'm like 10, 11, 12, like crack is made from cocaine. Cocaine doesn't grow in Chicago. So how is this happening? Then you can't do the actual history. Now the stuff, their whole narrative just falling apart. Do the actual history. Oh yeah, they took down Colombia, took down their government so that they could grow all this cocaine so they can come and take down our community. Like, y'all are evil. And then we're not the first ones y'all did this to, right? How the opium wars in China, which I think that is so funny. Where is all this fentanyl coming from? China. Which is like, that's what you get. The Chinese didn't have one opium war to stop y'all from stringing their people out on heroin. Y'all took these mugs to war twice because you demanded to sell their people heroin. That's why you went to war with them. Fast forward 100 years and look what happened. I'm just like, this is great. Y'all getting it. You're getting caught up for what you did to the Chinese, and you're getting caught up for what you did to us at the same time. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. I am enjoying this. I'm enjoying this.
Nature.
Because y'all deserve it. If it was anybody else, no. But y'all deserve it. You went to war with these people twice to sell their people heroin. Oh my God.
It's real.
And the only way they got you off their back is because the only way they got you off their back was to give you Hong Kong. How messed up is that? You know.
It makes you think. It makes you think how much would a person do for that almighty dollar. You know,
just them. This is just them. Who is that? Cortez said it. There is a hole in the white man's soul that only gold can fill. I mean, what does not explain a lot. Because I don't get, I mean, the fact that they came here and all that gold they found was still in the ground. That tells you how much we thought about it. You know, they talking about they just walking around picking it up. The same thing with diamonds. What do South Africans call diamonds? I'm sorry, Zulu. What did they call diamonds before Europeans showed up? Rocks.
Well, they were
rocks. That's what they called them. Because they didn't care. They were just walking around when they first got diamonds are not rare. They created scarcity with diamonds. Right?
Yeah.
So no, they called them rocks. Because they're like, man, they're rocks. Only of course cavemen getting excited about some dang rocks. You know.
It's wild because, you know, all of those is still earthly things. So it's like, you know, we about to be experiencing how we could use the earth to benefit us, opposed to, you know,
oh yeah,
destroy us. You know what I'm saying? But then we gotta think like how everybody is talking about the ocean getting warmer and how we supposed to be helping and assisting in the healing of the earth, you know, itself, so that we can heal ourselves. You know,
right?
That's why I be stuck on the Taurus North Node thing.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
it's going to be a beautiful time.
That wave is coming. What an opportunity. For real. Like,
so
okay, we're supposed to be stocking up food and all this stuff, right? Why don't more start developing plans to put together food banks? What an opportunity. The stars are with us, right?
I've been researching.
So the North Node, y'all go a little bit more about the North Node, you know what I'm saying? Give us some light on that. You know, it represents what exactly?
Okay, so you have okay, I'm trying to see if I could put it, because it's not, depending on who you ask, it's not a real planet. Even though in Vedic astrology they do consider it a planet, because you can see it. This is how they explain it. You can see it during the eclipses. You can see K2 and Rahu during the eclipses. That's why the sun and moon are blocked out, right? But it's a shadow planet, right? So it's based off of how trying to remember, the sun, the moon, and the earth, as the earth is going around the sun and the moon is going around the earth, they meet at points. There's points where they cross, right? And it's only two. Those points are the nodes, all right? And those nodes turn backwards along the ecliptic. So a regular chart is Aries, then Taurus, then Gemini, right? But the nodes go backwards. So we're in Gemini, and now it's getting ready to go into Taurus and then into Aries and backwards along the chart. And the North Node, depending on who you ask, it's your Dharma, what you're here to do, right? The South Node, that's your karma. That's what you've done in the past, and you are dealing with the ramification of those actions. All right. So right now, North Node is in Gemini, South Node is in Sag, but I look at the degrees too, and it's about to leave, right? It's in the early, the degrees go from 28 or 29, I should say 29, and up until 0 or 1, however you want to look at it. And we're at like 2 or 3 right now, so it's getting ready to go into Taurus. So it's at the youngest degrees of Gemini, right? The freshest degrees of Gemini. So people are doing a lot of talking right now, right? And they are having lots of light conversations about stuff that might actually get some stuff done, instead of being mired in the philosophy of stuff and making all these promises that they don't intend on keeping. which is what Sagittarius, the South Node, is. Usually the South Node is like you trying to deal with like the negative stuff about it. You want to keep the positive parts of it, right? But if you get so into just thinking, which is what, Gemini rules is I think, right? And then Sagittarius is like, I think I know, right? You're philosophizing. You just philosophize. You just philosophizing.
Yeah.
So you move into Capricorn, and you actually put those philosophies into action, right? It's cardinal. So you actually start doing something with it. But right now, it's just a whole lot of talking, right? But it's actually good talking because people are having fun with it, which is Gemini, right? But Gemini also is the opposite side is Sagittarius, so we can pull on that side. So yes, we're having fun conversations, but they're going to slip into stuff that we can actually apply. We can actually, because you know how that is. You stumble onto stuff, make little discoveries, not even trying, like a butterfly. So, and now we're getting ready to move into Taurus. Oh boy, I know what I'm doing, and I didn't even do it on purpose. I just ended up on it. I don't want to give away too much because the person might be listening, but I'm helping somebody set up a food bank, right? Get a grant for it. And I'm like, dude, why don't we put a soup kitchen up in there too? Do all kinds of stuff. And then I didn't even think about the node moving into Taurus until you just started talking about it, Sarush. Talking about you've been watching it. And it just hit me like, well, duh. You know how you been looking at the whole time and it's like, oh, that's what that is. I didn't even realize I was looking at it the whole time. It just happened to be moving towards it. So my thing is, when I finish helping him, it's like, nah, who wants this thing? If you're willing to go through and just find the funding sources and all that stuff, I'll give it to you. Because the work is, it's like a boilerplate. I can't stand when people have like a template and they keep charging for this thing. You already got paid for it, and you gonna get rewarded if you give it away, especially to people that can't afford to buy it, right? Which is why I took a class. I'm like, it'll be cheaper to take the class than to hire somebody to do this. Right. And then I can help some people. And you swear that ain't going to come back on me,
Very Taurus.
So, yeah. So,
it's very Taurus.
What, the food?
Mm-hmm. And giving away the program like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm trying to, we've been commanded to do this. What would I look like charging you for something like this,
Right.
And it's going to be necessary. It's really going to be necessary, especially because food is getting so expensive. Don't nobody want to work. It's like, okay, Moorish once fed the world, right?
All right, so last year on my solar return, I got a reading from an astrologer. And she said, Sarush, I feel like you're supposed to be writing a cookbook. And I was like, I don't write recipes, but I could communicate to people, different things that I've done. Because like I changed my lifestyle. When you said that thing about 33, and it's seeming that it's a pretty consistent age for
yes,
extreme growth.
How old was Jesus when he died?
Right.
For real.
So like I fasted one time, and like I really got on like the SEBI program. And over the years, like I've been trying to communicate it. And like I said, last year I got the reading and she told me like, get into this realm of like communications, podcasting was going to be big. The technology was going to change. But when she was talking about the cookbook, I was like really stuck on that for the whole last year. Like I have been talking to a lot of people that already know, like they know me and say, yo, Sarush, I saw what you posted. You should, tell people how to make. I'm like, it's not my recipe, so I can't really, what I'm saying? Like,
come on, you're a Cancer rising. Come on. What did I say? It's like talking to a bowl of chicken soup.
Yeah. So like, I'm
getting hungry just listening to you. Like, oh, he could cook. What? Well, I mean, the stars are in his favor. What's up? Yeah. And if you want to get a book out, shoot. I mean, I got a page set up called What Moors Eat. We always looking for recipes on Facebook and Instagram. So shoot, what's up? And it's timely. I mean, come on.
You mentioned the food just now. That's
just start working on it. Just start make one gesture every day, and then watch what happens. Right?
This on the site?
What's that?
What Moors eat?
It's a Instagram page and it's a Facebook page.
Okay.
Yes. Yep. What Moors eat.
And I
Yep.
thank God for your spirit, man. Both of y'all, man. I appreciate y'all spirit, man.
Praise Allah. You too.
Praise
You
Allah,
know.
yeah. I'm just
Yes,
grateful
sir.
that y'all here with the platform
Absolutely,
open.
man. Like,
Ditto. Thank you for joining. For real. Like,
I
oh,
was
we
trying
got
my
people.
best to like try to figure out what was going on. Like, and you know, I'm gonna do this talk. I'm gonna present your book, and I was like, wait a minute, I ain't even say yes yet. I ain't even say yes yet. And I was like, I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna go in. So I thank you for that. You know what I'm
Dragging
saying?
you along.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, that energy, that Gemini energy, you know what I'm saying? That you know what I'm saying, may have a lot to do with Mercury, maybe, you know what I'm saying? But I felt it, you know. I felt it
That's
a lot.
the Libra and Aries, the cardinal stuff.
Yeah, okay, all right.
Always wanting to initiate. Let's get this going, right? And that's on myself and others, right? So yeah, I don't like waiting for folks to get to stuff. Spot a need, fill a need, right? And if I know you, I told you last week, oh, I know you. You're here for something. You know, it's not just an acquaintance. You know, I don't have many acquaintances. You know, I have associates, right?
You
If
don't
you're
play
not
no
just an
games.
outright friend. So it's
You
like, no,
don't play
we
no
do
games,
stuff.
y'all. You play no games. You hear me? You don't play and everybody play no games. You don't play games, period. Like, nah.
Oh, you'd
You know
be
what I'm saying?
surprised.
I'm
I'm a
just saying
Leo
from
moon.
like,
I
yeah,
love games. Like board games and
um,
stuff. I got a Nintendo Switch. I love
very
games.
competitive, right?
Should be.
Very competitive, right? So,
Oh
so,
yeah.
so,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
so,
I'm trying to be the
I
best
read
more. For real.
that your the north node is the node that you come in on this lifetime, and the south was the one that you left out on last time. Is that
Right.
backwards? Have you heard that before?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's how I understand it. Right.
Okay,
That's
so
what you've been the South Node is what you good at. That's your comfort zone. But that's where you lazy. Or if you want to look at it like the Buddha's wheel, that's what keeps you on that wheel, the South Node. The North
right,
Node is
okay,
like, and
now
I mean, isn't it a wheel? The chart is a wheel, right? The North
absolutely
Node
the
is how you get
road,
off this mug, you know?
absolutely, yeah. So
So yeah. So people
my
are like, man, you
understanding,
go hard. Cause I'm not trying to come back. For real. That's my only reward. You ain't gotta pay me. I just want Allah to not let me come back. Just don't let me come back. That's it. Don't you want to see your
so
work? No, I'm good. You know, make me. I want to be Moses. I'm good.
check right on out, huh?
Huh?
No, I said just check right on out and not come back, right?
Yup.
I,
Because if I come back, that means I didn't do my job well. You know. So
yeah.
so
But
yep.
you mean, yeah, I mean, some and they say some like so choose to come back. You know, they choose to.
Yeah.
It's a
Yep.
lot of work to do.
The
You
Dalai
know,
Lama, he chooses to come back supposedly.
yeah.
So, yep.
But
They come out. We don't. None of us get out of this until we all get out. Like I'm not. I'm not subscribing to that because some people like that stuff. No,
nah,
no. Especially
that
if
would
you
be crazy.
doing what you supposed to be doing over 10,000 lifetimes, and this fool just don't want to even try.
Yeah.
Something right now. And then the thing is, who said this? Because Buddha didn't come back. He said he wasn't coming back. The guy that set
Mm-hmm.
up the whole thing, he's gone. He said he was not coming back. He got off the wheel. So what are you talking about? You know.
I don't know how true it is. I asked the question one time, like, what does it mean to have the North Node in the 12th house? And the the response was that was the truth. Like, basically, like when the node travels around the chart, that it symbolizes, you know, a energy that has come, and their life has taken them, for their goals and aspirations, what they're working towards to go around the entire chart like that. you know
Right.
when
Yeah.
you come back to live a life where you fulfill a community, where your life is dedicated to the people,
Yeah.
you know, and not yourself anymore.
Talk,
You know,
man.
it's wild.
Yeah.
I studied it because my North Node is in Taurus, which is my 11th house, but on the house cusp, it's in the 12th house. So
Right.
I still studied like what it meant for the 12th house. And it
Yeah,
was
you got
like,
to. Yep. Gotta
you
get
know,
got to. Got to.
so when I
Yep.
found that,
My
I was
North
like,
Node
wow,
is Aquarius.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, mine's Aquarius. And
Who
my
did
and
that
my
study?
sun is in the 12th house.
Yeah, that 12th house is a trip. Be careful with that.
Yeah,
I
but see,
always
I
get nervous
always
because
see
I'm
like a
like, whoa, he
shadow of
said his North
myself.
Node is in the 12th house. Ooh, you better be good because I'm like, oh, snap. Is he supposed to go to prison? You know?
Peace.
But it could
The
mean,
Ganshike.
hey, that's a priest, you know? Anything 12th house. You supposed to be here dealing with like the stuff that nobody else wants to deal with, that actually
Yep.
nobody else can deal with, because Pisces is the only sign that can talk about all signs. 12th house,
Yep.
because everything has happened. So, and Pisces is the last one, so it's a culmination in the 12th house / Pisces.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's like what is it rule? Ashrams, prisons, hospitals, anywhere where you're isolated or by yourself. But that could be, you know, like, oh, he's big into meditation, you know, so he's isolated and by himself in his mind, type of thing.
I
That's
found
weird. I keep running to all these 12th house people lately.
I
Or the
found
church.
one.
Go ahead, go ahead.
No, my bad. I was just
Not
saying. I
okay.
was watching this Wild Wild Country about the dude
Mm-hmm.
Osho, and they was talking about how they bought all that land in Oregon, and even though they built the whole ashram for him, it was like 80,000 acres ranch.
Oh,
Yeah,
see, that's the stuff that makes me mad. Go ahead. Oh my
they
God.
they built the whole ashram for him. In the last year, he went into his house and just stayed by himself in silence,
Yep.
and the whole thing collapsed. Like
Mm.
the whole thing just collapsed all around him, and the state ended up taking it and donating it to a church.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh, oh.
they
Yeah.
they
See,
did like
thank you. See, this is the
permaculture.
kind of stuff I need to hear. This
They
is the
did
stuff I need to hear. I
permaculture.
want to
They
see if I can get a town donated to my church. I'm out my temple. For real.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
80,000 acres. I don't need that much. Wow. And just gave it to a church who probably just went and asked for it.
the amount of work that they did was amazing. It's like a barren, desert ranch, and they, did the reverse blasting and all
Wow.
types of, all types of, different things to bring the life back to the land. And yeah, the
The
way they
state
played him was
seized
the
it and
worst.
gave it to a church. Do you
Yeah,
know how inspirational that is?
yeah.
Man, thank you. I got some renewed hope. I'm about to do some things. Boy, stay tuned.
The grandson, it was the grandson of the dude that owns Nike, the dude that started Nike.
Wow.
Wow.
His
Wow.
So he had
grandson,
money to play with. Okay.
yeah, his grandson went in on the dude Osho. He got him out of there and gave it to the church.
That's crazy. I
Hmm.
mean, it worked out for the church too.
Hallelujah.
Man, I'm gonna do that. Thank you. Thank you for telling. You know how it's one of those things. Why don't most people have $1 million? Because they've never seen $1 million. It never occurred to them. So that kind of stuff. Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna name the first building Sarush. So, yeah. the canteen. There you go.
I was
Nah,
going to
that for
say, like,
real. That really did spark something. You set something off for real. I mean, I want to do something with that. But I mean, it's kind of funny too, the story, how he had all that. All he needed was one room, huh? 80,000 acres, he needed one
they
room.
built him a mansion, and it was crazy. His house was crazy. It was watching it was wild to see how they projected what they wanted onto him, and
Right.
like how he just was like just staying him. He was just always staying him, but like still like, you know, the way they depicted it, you know, was that he was just maintaining who he was, and then when he dipped off, you know, was just him staying in the room for real like that.
It's crazy. It just fell apart. Like what happened to all the people that had him help them put it together?
Yeah, like
staff.
it just crumbled.
Like usually you don't need the star to actually be around to have the show go on. You know.
They built a whole city. It was pretty sustaining. They got too caught up into, you know, the corporation, the politics, you know. But they had a city that was pretty it was pretty populated, you know.
Oh, it was other people, like a real city? Yeah, I gotta see this.
It's called Wild Wild Country.
Apart.
It's called Wild Wild Country.
Yeah,
I mean, the dude, he's like, they be saying, you know, if he a guru or whatever, he wrote a bunch of books. They quote him a lot, you know, right? You know, the quotes, inspirational quotes and stuff. But like, you know, I didn't know like how the people was just like, because the way it happened was like he ended up getting, you know, people to come to him that already had money, and you know, they, like I said, they projected onto him, oh, when he comes, he's such a good guru, or he's such he's held in such high regard that he needs to come in a Rolls Royce. So,
oh my gosh. Okay.
It's like he didn't say he want the Rolls Royce.
Right, he just rolled with it. For real.
But like the people is like, yo, he needs to have this.
Fine.
You know, and it's like, so when they did the city, he told his assistant, you know, we need to build an ashram. We need to build something bigger for more people. They was outgrowing their spot in India or whatever the story is over there, but she came here and found the land, and they just had people building, but they did it to like impress him. You know, they was like trying to, you know, make this place like for him. Like, it's like people wiping stuff off when he pulling up. Like, it's wild.
And how do you maintain something like that? Don't say nothing. That's nuts. I'm like, did he ask for any of this? I bet he didn't.
Right.
Oh, he's trying to be like, I think this will work. This got to be what he wants. Bigger, more over the top. He's just rolling with it. That's dope. And he after all that, he picked out a room. All right, that's great.
It makes him very uncomfortable for real. When people can't figure out like, what's your cup of tea, or what is your vice, or what is it that makes you weak, or whatever, like they don't. Like, I don't want nothing from you. Hey, what you mean? I got something for you. I just want you to leave me alone. You know. But none of that.
Yeah, it was crazy how he dipped off on
them. Right. He finally told him what he wanted.
They built a whole
That's
city.
What he wanted.
And
I don't want to be around y'all. That's what I want.
Right. Right. And
I love it.
For like a year.
That's dope.
Can you imagine how some of the people felt? Like, we did all this for you. Like,
that's what they get. Sound like they set themselves up.
Right.
Yeah,
but you know how rich folks, or I won't say rich folks, entitled, because you don't necessarily have to have money to feel entitled. You know.
Right.
This was just supposed to work out the way I wanted, because that's the way I wanted it.
That was
forget the fact that you got other entities and their stuff and interfering with what you want.
Right.
Somebody owes me an explanation.
That's how they was acting, the documentary too, told the story, like.
Right. Want to see the manager.
Right.
Entitled. You know. Oh, this world. Stuff just drives me crazy. I'm like, sometimes I'm so glad the Moors went through what they went through. Because I'm like, man, we so beat down that, and we're so modest. I'm so glad that some stuff we just won't do, like insist. I'm not talking about black folks. I'm not talking about black folks. We don't insist because it's just like I'm too tired to fight anymore.
Yeah.
If you don't agree with me, I'll ask you once, I'll ask you twice, I might ask you 3 times. Now let me go use the same energy and just go do it myself.
Yes, there it is.
And black my people built, they traversed the world. I think I can figure this out.
Yep. Most people they don't want you to be able to just do what you want to do. You got to do it like I want it, And that would irritate me if I told you I don't want a whole city. I don't want all of that. I just want y'all to leave me alone so I can study and meditate. You need this.
Well, maybe he made them happy by doing that.
Still those.
Right? He gave the people what they wanted. It's just they wanted it for him. And it's like, did you ask? Did anybody ever get a straight yes or no? Right. Or y'all just be like, oh, this looks, I'm just gonna see some stuff. Let me put on 3-4 pairs of rose-colored glasses and see what I want to see. I'm gonna put on some rose-colored hearing aids too, that kind of thing. People are true. I don't know. It's just like I just sit back and be like, I don't know. Some stuff just don't make no sense to me. Why would I want to build you a city? I'm gonna go build myself a city. My guru that don't tell me nothing. He don't talk to us.
Right. That's exactly.
Yeah, I gotta go see this. Like, what? Like maybe I could take some notes or something. Cause I'm like, man, being sincere and being up front with people don't seem to be working. Like this dude just like let folks guess, and he got a city. I'm always open to yeah, this stuff is crazy, but that's what is that? The Mahabharata. When the Kali Yuga comes, everything's gonna be flipped. So if you're doing right, you're gonna be punished. If you're doing wrong, you're gonna be rewarded with 80,000 acres.
Seemingly, right? Yeah.
That's what's going on. Smart people don't say nothing because they don't think they got it all correct and in place. Meanwhile, you got jackasses who don't know anything, just proclaiming to be experts on stuff they found out about 6 months ago. And they got a package to sell you.
You don't want to come back. When you come back to the world and we ruling again, that'll be good for the soul. Just to do that.
I don't need to see it. You send me a postcard. I'm good. For real. I'm tired. I feel like I've been around this wheel a few times. It's like I just gave up fighting with folks. I'm just like, man, let me just put it out there and then just move on. And it seems to be working. Like, okay, I'm tired. I'm just tired of fighting, even though, and that's South Node Aries, Even though I can do it, it's just like, forget it. Let's see if it'll come to me. And it does. So, even though it's like, dang, you get so much done. You'd be surprised how much time I spend sitting around, It's just when I do get stuff done, it's probably something that hasn't been done before because our people don't have anything. It's a completely open frontier. So if I make a pen, people say, oh, you made a pen. It's just a pen. You make one, But it's impressive. You think I actually worked hard on this thing because it hasn't been done for a while.
Tell me about the full blood moon in Aries coming up. I know you got something on that.
Who, me? Yeah, I'm hiding. I am speaking. I'm turning off my phone. I'm probably just gonna go I'm gonna stay in the house because that's the last supposed to look for me. Because it's in my 7th house, right?
Oh, okay.
On my South Node exactly conjuncting Venus and Mars, so it's gonna be a great day to start a fight, right? So, it ain't gonna be me starting it, so yeah. And I'm gonna be cool for at least maybe 3-4 days till it passes over. So, Yep. Maybe I'll barbecue, set something on fire. That's always fun. No, I mean, you got to do something to acknowledge that planet, right? Like
Right.
Venus, Venus, I do my laundry every Friday. That acknowledges Venus because Venus likes it clean.
Oh,
You know.
okay. Okay.
So yep.
Sun twice.
Wednesday I send out emails and like do ads and stuff. Thursdays I count money, you know, all that stuff. Pay bills.
I'm
Yep.
learning. I'm learning.
Yep. Saturdays are for rest, which is so funny. It's like Saturn's day is for rest. Yeah, if you've been doing what you were supposed to do the other 6 days. Saturn says rest. That's your reward. You know. Yeah, it's cool. It helps to make your week just kind of plans itself. Like you can't miss anything. Like, okay, Fridays I gotta wash because it's the day of washing. You gotta wash something. Everything stays clean. Get it? Mondays, clean the house because it's ruled by the moon, right? So, yep, clean the whole house, even if it doesn't need it. What's Tuesday? Oh, Tuesdays file lawsuits. Love Tuesdays. Tuesday is my favorite day.
Mars?
Mars, yes. Yes. I mean, just because, I'm good at it. You know what I mean? So it's like, well, apparently you can, activate the benefits of your North Node by using the positive aspects of your South Node. But apparently this only works for the first 7 axes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So even though technically, if you look at it, it's like, okay, South Node says, South Node in the 7th house, no kind of relationships, right? South Node conjunct Venus, no pleasure. You can't enjoy stuff. South Node conjunct Mars, what is that? No aggression, right? It steals your drive type of thing, not your energy because that's the sun. But all of this is in Aries, which rules the South Node. So instead of the South Node, in my case, being like, you could think of the South Node as a vacuum. It sucks away whatever house is in, it takes that away. And if there's planets there, it takes away the benefits of those planets. But mine is in Aries, so it's somebody hit the reverse switch type of thing. So I'm very driven. I enjoy life to its fullest, right? Every single moment of it. I love engaging with people, and I'm really good at it. Only thing is, I have a bad temper. That's a bad part of it. But if I go into it, right, and actually start helping people, type of thing, it engages my first house, and stuff starts coming to me just by going to you all, going to people come to me. So I'm supposed to technically stay away from folks because of the big sucking sound in my 7th house. That's how you can think of it. But I keep going into it anyway, and it spits me out and brings other people with it, if that makes sense. Because of the whole Aries Libra thing. North Node in Libra, it's like you're supposed to be having people come to you. But the South Node is in Aries. I hope this is making sense. South Node is in Aries in the 7th house. So, you're not supposed to have any like energy or drive or want to deal with people. You always supposed to want to be alone by yourself with others, if that makes any sense. That's what it reads as, but because of those planets sitting right there, the more I come to y'all, the more it, but it works the other way too. The more I stay away from people, the more it attracts folks because of it's bouncing off of each other. If you actually have a copy of my chart, and you'll be able to see how it's like all of this stuff is just like a rubber band. They're like 2 trampolines facing each other, right?
Mm.
So the energy, that's how the energy is working. So if I come to you, it bounces me back to being alone, but here come people with it. If I try to be alone, it bounces me back to other people, and here comes solitude with that. It's messed up. Yeah, if it sounds messed up, it is kind of messed up. I have like the hardest one you can have, but I like it. I'm enjoying it. You know, thank goodness those planets are sitting right there. I mean, look it up. North Node, Libra, South Node, Aries. Just look that up. I can actually probably send you a link to it, and it explains how there's a page. It's a cool page. I'll just send you a link to it. It goes through all of the North South Node placements in all the houses and all the signs. It's a pretty big site, right? And the longest explanation is North Node and Libra in the first house. That's the longest entry on the whole thing. So, but yeah, I'll send it to you. It's a pretty cool site. I wish I could just bring it up and I'll tell you what it is.
Mine is, like I said, mine is air, but it's Aquarius.
It's yours in Aquarius?
Yeah.
Oh, where is it? Is it this one? Nope. Oh, and as far as that other piece that was put in, I might have to cut that out when I put the video up. The whole, yeah, because that like, I ain't gonna lie, that like threw the whole energy off.
Yeah.
It did. So I'm just gonna turn, because I felt everything calm down when dude left. Is this it? Yeah, I'll have to find it for you because I got so many stuff saved. But yeah, it's now approaching the 11 o'clock hour, so we probably should get ready to wrap this up.
Are we doing okay on that?
Huh?
Yeah, I think we staying on topic. Okay, we doing okay on that. We doing.
Oh yeah, we actually got through to the rules. We actually it was like, wow, this probably the only one we actually need to read. It was called one more time. I'll read out the title of it one more time. And this is from, y'all can't find that site. I'll just put in send it to y'all. And when I post the video, I'll put it in the links in the video. Page 116. I'm reading page 116 from Califa Uhuru. It's a compilation of all the Moorish literature. All right, you can buy the book separately, or you can just buy this one. So it's chapter 6. It's the red book in this book. Chapter 11. Jesus reveals the marriage law of man and wife from Allah. I mean, I don't know what else is what. Everything else is gonna be details, right? And the details are chapter 20, 21, and 22 in the Holy Quran. And how to take care of your husband in the Sisters Auxiliary Handbook. So yeah. Yep. So we can like get on the same page. And even if we don't do it for ourselves, you know, start imparting this on the youth. And then watch them do it right, you know. I mean, I love watching people find each other. So I'm all for that. Like, I ain't got to be the one to do it. I'm all for, what's that, scaffolding? That's an educational term. Where you put your children or the next generation on your shoulder. You know.
I like that. Okay. $10 word right there. $10 word. You said that in English class all the time. Well, family, I guess, is this it?
Oh yeah, this feels like a good place to wrap up. This was a good one. It was laid back, relaxed. You got a nice little jolt of, I don't know what that was. From Uncle Snoop, but I'm glad he joined us.
Absolutely. And once again, you know what I'm saying, happy belated solar return day to Sarush.
Oh, thanks, bro.
Oh yeah. What day was it?
I was the 14th.
Oh, happy solar return. What's up?
Thank you.
How young are you?
37.
Oh wow, I thought you were young. young. Like, I don't know why. I don't know why. I thought you were like young. Okay. Okay, that makes things easier. It's like, okay, so I can like make like cultural references that you might actually know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, for sure. I was born 84.
Like, who am I talking about? Like, I don't know. I can't think of nobody. Cross colors.
Cross colors for sure.
There we go. Okay, good.
Yeah, and I'm from Harlem, so like all hip hop, news, pop culture, art, you know, is really where I'm at with
Oh,
the
that's what's
cultures,
up.
with the cultural references.
Oh, really? Because I'm trying to put together a collection of assets, like digital assets,
Mm,
for the Moors to just start using it to make exactly what you just said. Like, okay, maybe we could have more like Moorish art out there, like vector art, because that's like
right,
what's popping right now. If
right.
they just had the vectors to work with, that
I would
kind of thing.
yeah, I was always interested in that because I even saw what Nas did, with his merch for that
Hmm.
album. And I
Yeah.
always had a question about that, like how does that work? How is he able to just use that on his merch?
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you
Draw a
familiar?
picture
Absolutely.
and then put it up.
Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
mean,
The store
oh
going
boy,
through
there's another video. Oh
a
wow, because
pyramid.
I'm like, I will be glad to help Moors do this. Like, I have the assets. I gotta buy an external drive. I got so many assets, right? And if you want to like get the word out and let folks know, come get this stuff. How do I use it? Let me show you. It's like let me. I don't know what to teach until somebody asks me how to do that type of thing. You know what I
Right.
mean? But I'm very 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 extremely willing to do that, so we can get this moving. Because right now I'm working with another more on another book about turbans, right? And I want it to be one of those gigantic coffee table books
Mm-hmm.
that children will thumb through. So their little uncorrupted minds might trigger something, and they can, how it's like they can actually pull on their former lives and before the rest of the world gets a hold of them, and maybe
Right.
they can
Right.
tell us what we're not seeing when they look at it, that kind of thing. And I'm like, that's cool that we can like find paintings and all that stuff. Where's the contemporary stuff, right? And are you still on the East Coast, Sarush?
Yeah, I'm in
So
the
you got
east, the
access to
northeast.
that. I mean, man, like, where's the Moorish artist collective, that kind of
That's
thing.
that's kind of like something that because I make music too, and like navigating through all the different people that make either music or art, something, and it's like I think everybody has their own creative style, so I think that it would be like beneficial if it was if everybody was open to it, like to, like you said, have the assets,
Right,
for the artists to make art with,
right,
because I do the music, but I only started music for other purposes, like you saying the assets. So I was like, I need the music assets, like uh
beats. Because
ambient
I,
beats,
I know people
exactly.
that give away beats,
Right.
but they just like, where can I put this in? I'm just like, I've been meaning to do it for a minute. Because what does it take? Like a website? Because how many? I remember learning in history, the thing that America has more of than any other country is organizations, like civic organizations. Like, these mugs love to form a club for anything, right? And the funny thing is, funded grant people that give away grant money love to fund these things for whatever reason. It's weird, right? So I'm just like, yeah, why don't we have like a Moorish music collective, a Moorish digital art collective, all that stuff.
Hmm.
Even if it's just like, have you ever heard of Behance?
Yes.
Yes, like that.
Yep.
Yeah. You know what
That's facts.
Behance is, Abir?
Mm-mm.
Behance is kind of like, it's not kind of, it's Facebook for creatives, all right? Where you can go up there and you can post what you created. Not necessarily to sell, but um agents and promoters and all kinds of crazy people be on this thing, and they'll just pluck your stuff off and buy it from you. That kind of thing.
Oh, word.
And who is that? Adobe. This is where they get their instructors from. They get them off of
Oh,
Behance, and all the, like, when you pull up one of their programs, the art that comes up, they're getting it off of Behance. So yeah, it's really cool. And I'm just like, yeah, we need something like that. We really do. So these children, even if it's not for us, they can have some stuff on their walls. You know, I still remember those beige and brown diamonds, 4 diamonds that made a bigger diamond on my wall when I was growing up, that 80s style, you know, that kind of thing. I don't remember seeing any art on the walls though. That was just it. But going to the Africans' houses and seeing the batiks and the mask and the wooden spoon and the fork, you know, and the rugs on the floor. It's like, oh, okay. So it's like, dang, I got memories of their stuff. You know, so yeah. But nobody else, at least do it for these children. Make a coloring book or something. What is that? Lullabies, music for them. We missing a whole bunch of stuff, and it's such an open field, and you know what's gonna happen when it catches on, right? Yeah. It's gonna be black hair all over again. Except y'all gonna have to buy it from us, you know, because everybody want our stuff. They just don't want to buy it from us. Like that's fine. Right. That was fine when you were dealing with black folks, you know. But this is a new day and time. Yep.
Yeah. Well, I'll be, God willing, I'll be ready for next week.
Okay. Cool. I'm wondering if we should even like plan on something to discuss, because it kind of flows a little better when it's just allowed to flow. You know what I mean? And I'm leaning more if we gotta discuss, like pick a topic, I'm leaning, you know, definitely leaning towards astrology.
Yeah, so, definitely.
Because we need to get that science back. We really do. You know.
I like how you brought in, you know what I'm saying, the scriptures of the words early. I think that kind of, you know, set the stage for everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I kind of like that. You know
let's add that to the show. For real. I was also thinking if people come in, start asking them for their 3, just so we can be like, oh, okay, well, you got to get out.
Facts.
No Scorpios.
I was just about to say that. Like the astrology is the basis of the relationships.
Absolutely.
You know, the complements and the opposites.
Right. And so, I mean, what good is it to know that you need to know this stuff if you don't even know how to use it, you know? And plus, it's so much fun, you know? It really is. That's why I could talk about astrology all day.
Learning about yourself should be until it gets too, you know, challenging. I had a couple books, so I threw them across the room. You know what I'm saying? I was like, there's no way. That's not me.
Right. Well, when you really think about it.
I love it, though, you know. You need that.
Yup. I'm willing, shoot. So, shoot, you want to start with, well, I don't know. Houses or planets? I guess planets would make more sense.
Right.
And then, the signs. I'm trying to think. So it's like, okay, which the 3 you would start with would be either the planets, the zodiac itself, the signs, or the houses. Houses would probably be last. I guess planets, because you can actually see those. Yep.
Yeah.
Do planets, and then how they move through the zodiac, and that's how you introduce the zodiac, right? And then the movements into the houses. So yep. Go through the planets real quick. Or shoot, even better. I got even better. Roz's class, I think it started today, if I'm not mistaken.
It was last week. Yeah, it was last week.
Okay, so what are they talking about? You know what I mean? Like, okay, how you have, like, you go to class and then you have the discussion.
That was really what I was feeling. That's very natural.
Yeah. I mean, and then what a way to encourage what she's doing. Like, no, we following you too. You know, even though I think Cujo said it's like a basics class, supposed to have like nothing, no background in astrology. But that's cool too, because we can expand on what they like. Oh well, this also means blah blah blah. So yeah, that's what's up.
I love that idea.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Now I got to figure out how to find out what she taught. I'll find out. I'll just sit still and wait for it to come to me.
Well, she taught the houses last week.
She taught houses. Oh, and what? Wow, we had just discussed the houses. Okay, that's what's up.
She said, whatever's in your seventh house will be your your second best mate. I was like, yo,
you're actually in her class?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what's up. See, I just said it like, I'm just gonna sit still. It'll come. That's dope. Praise a lot. That's what's up. Okay, cool. So you're taking her class and you're familiar, but you said you needed to go into it deeper, and so you can come here and we can just discuss what you learned, right? And we'll not teach, because I'm not trying to over teach her. But it's like, no, what did you learn? And I'm gonna share what I know about it.
No. Put Abir's chart on the table and let's discuss his chart like he's not here. We'll use him as
Who, you? That's not what I'm suggesting. No.
What I'm trying to say is I don't mind at all.
Okay, cool. You want to do that? We can do your chart. You want to do your chart?
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't mind.
That's what's up. So we can use her lessons to do your chart. That's what's up.
I don't mind
and I mean, you know what? I'm wondering if that we should start opening that up, and maybe that'll get people to show up with a show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, hey, we'll do this in your chart too. Free readings, because it's you're so nice. You're so generous to do free readings. It's practice. You can take whatever it looks like to you, go for it. It's kind of selfish. I always learn something because I'm trying to figure my chart out, because I can't figure this mug out. Like that first seventh house, I'm stuck. So by doing other people's charts, I keep getting closer to figuring out what it means.
I need the help. I need the assistance.
Hey, what's up? You down, Sarush? You want to do this?
Absolutely.
What's up? So there we go. There's next week's show.
Yeah.
We're gonna use.
I done lived too much of my life.
Because I have your chart. You already sent me the information.
Yeah.
That's what's up. So you got to tell us what you learned, and we're gonna look at your chart and apply it. That's what's up. Oh yeah, I'm excited. I'm ready.
I'm with it. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I'm enjoying trying to get it. You know what I'm saying? But the move, I just need to keep in mind how it moves progressively. Some of the rules that don't change, all of that. So I'm with that. Absolutely, I'm with it.
Okay, that's what's up.
Yeah, we'll be on a beer, I guess.
Yes. All right. Yeah. Okay.
I mean,
I'll just leave it at that. But if I see something that don't need to be mentioned, I won't mention it.
No. This honestly, I use my mentor, back at home, brother Farai, put me on Time Passages and the app. And Time Passages is like,
it's a good app.
Real good. And then I use Cafe Astrology online, a whole bunch of things online. And then I had this book I told you about called Sextrology. And the first time I read it, I took the book and threw it like a frisbee. Wow. It's just amazing nowhere in the world I'm that much of a, you know what I'm saying, I said another word like I say right now.
And they say Leos take stuff personal.
Hey, Sarush, I didn't appreciate it at all, brother. You hear me? They was killing Leos. I'm talking about they was, oh man. It was precise, Dollar. It was precise. And I appreciated it. It was just at that moment, it was too in my face.
Right.
You can't say something because you got a chart too. You see what I'm saying? So anything you can say to me, you got your stuff, you're trying to be like, That's
Yeah.
terrible. But I got to live with it. That's who I am. You can't be mad at who you are. You know what I'm saying? You gonna be mad at that? You should be mad if you don't know what's there.
I mean, we
Right.
chose it.
I
That's the
mean, that's
beautiful
good to
thing.
know, you know,
Yeah, yeah,
because I
yeah.
mean, once you know the trick, it don't work no more.
Facts.
Exactly. Exactly. You know what I'm
Because I
saying?
was like, man, I'm not angry. People always talk about I'm angry. I ain't angry. Oh, I have an anger issue. I need to watch that. You know, it's different when it's in a book and not people. You know, this book don't know me, but it is. Hey, it said it right there. You know, said it right
I
there.
told her, I told the Pisces that what that you know what? Not only did the book describe you exactly, it said that you would tell me the answer that you just gave me right there. Oh,
And
brother
that's when
made the
people say,
Pisces,
"Stop
man.
talking to me."
That, it,
For real.
it's
Shut it
sometimes
down.
it's that precise. It's
Right.
that sometimes so precise. Well, you know what? I don't believe
I got somebody good once. I found in their chart that they were ticklish.
it. What?
They were ticklish. I ain't ticklish. Okay. You want to bet?
What?
Yup. Found it. Yup. It was something with Jupiter. I forgot what it
Mm.
was. But they sure were ticklish. Talking about that. That ain't fair. I didn't know I was ticklish because nobody ever tried to tickle me before. Okay, but you swore up
There
and
it is.
down that
Right
you
there.
weren't, Leo.
Like, see that big Jupiter, that big planet is the only place where I got a lot of water in my chart, and that's Scorpio. So it's a different type of water. You know, Scorpio water is different.
Deep, dark, murky,
Right,
mysterious water.
right,
Like a bottomless well.
right. So imagine what I'm writing, what's going in my head, what I'm writing. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, how do you come up with these stories? You know, I'm not giving you none of the stories that's really there. You
Oh,
get like up to 30%. There's some stuff in there that's like, hey, I probably could make money off this without never saying it out loud. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh, you need to write that
yeah,
down. There's a market. I'm
yeah,
telling
that's
you.
that. Yeah,
I mean, have you all heard of that book, 80-20, the 80-20
yeah.
principle?
Nah.
Yeah. That's why I sell color copies of those books. Yeah, it costs $60, but people be buying those mugs too. Somebody will
Oh,
buy it, you know,
yeah.
for real. Write it down, for real. I mean, what were we just saying earlier? Like, I mean, unfortunately, there's a market for that. You
But
know,
everything, right?
Pornhub making a
Yeah,
fortune right now doing what? You know, at least
yeah.
you trying to get people to read about it. You know, for
Yes, true.
real,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
real. Help some folks out. You know, keep
Yeah,
people at
yeah.
home and out of real trouble. That kind of stuff. That's why I
That was
love books. They
wonderful,
keep
man.
people in the house. Like, no, go into your head and have a great time. You know, you know how that was
I
when you were
love the
little. How you
concept of
would
that.
like get lost in. I used to get lost in a book, and somebody would actually have to shake you to bring you back.
Oh, listen. You know,
Yeah,
I'm
I
not gonna get
still
it. I'm
have
not gonna
that.
tell.
You know, so
Listen.
I'm like, nah, man, write a lot. Because even if nobody else wants to go, I want to go. You know
I'm not gonna put my wife business out there like that. But I'm saying, when she
what?
gets some new books, when she gets some new books, hey, don't even speak to her. No, she don't want no bread, water, sleep. You know what I'm
Just
saying? She
gone,
got about
right?
6, 7 good books. Don't talk to me right now. Like, see, like in my head is like the competitive part of it. Like, I want to write like that. Somebody touch it like they can't put it down. Like, get out of my head right now. Like that's the drive right there. That's the competitive drive. Like, they can't put it down. But that's the artist in me too. You know,
Mm-hmm.
everybody wants. The artist just wants to create something that feels right and people can relate to it. Yeah, tell a good story. But anyway, I thank y'all once again. Salute to both
Ditto,
of y'all.
ditto,
Thank
You know what
y'all.
I'm saying? Much
ditto.
love. I pray y'all have a blessed week.
Want me to
You
read the
know,
outro real quick?
yes, please. Yeah, I
Okay.
forgot about that.
All right. Thank you for joining us on Talk to Me Moorish. This has been Sister Zahra Bey, Brother Abir Chanan L, and Brother Sarush L. You can contact us by going to CalifaMedia.com and 43rdbooks.com. That's 43rdbooks.com. Sarush, do you have any plugs you want to put out?
I just got my new website is just www.madebysarush.com.
Adding
Uh,
that. Okay.
Yeah, I make malas and gemstone jewelry.
Made
So
by Sarush.
gemstones.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. Bringing it up. Make sure I got it.
Money
Yep,
just
got
in
it. Ooh, nice site.
Thank you.
Okay.
there. Yeah, definitely
Okay.
does take the money.
Outlaw Slave Machine.
That was the name like 10 years ago.
Well, I'm on the right site though.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm just making sure I got the right site while ago. Okay, cool. So made by Sarush.com. And that will be put in our description.
Thank you.
And the wrap up. Have a safe and prosperous week, and we will see you at the next chat. Peace. Thank y'all.
Peace.
Peace, peace.